Sometimes we look at a single article, maybe a piece of research.
Mm-hmm.
Today, our source material it's completely different. It's an entire system,
Right.
a complete integrated universe designed for radical self-improvement.
Mm.
We are not skimming the surface today.
Yeah.
We are plunging headfirst into this just fantastical blueprint for ultimate holistic wellness.
That's absolutely right. We are navigating the design documents for a place called Zen Nation.
Zen Nation.
And it's described as a futuristic retreat center, but it's really a synthesis of three incredibly profound systems.
Okay, what are they?
You have the spiritual teachings of A Course in Miracles. You've got the psychological framework of the Enneagram.
Our favorite of ours.
Of course. And then you have the energetic anatomy of the 7 major chakras. It fuses them all together.
It sounds like a spiritual singularity, almost. Something built for high-tech transformation.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
So our mission today is really to unpack this vision. It was initiated by a woman named Laura, known as Zendiva for You, and her granddaughter Evelyn.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to explore the core mechanics. We want the juice details. Exactly how do chronic emotional blockages, the ones specific to your personality type, link up to physical discomfort?
Right.
And maybe most importantly, how this integrated system uses these high-tech spiritual practices to manifest targeted miracles.
And we have to be clear on that word, miracles.
Yes.
In this system, it's defined very specifically as a shift in perception.
From fear to love.
Exactly. The core premise is that true healing has to be synchronized. You can't just treat the physical symptom,
Right, that's just the end result.
That's the shout after the whisper has been ignored. You have to resolve the emotional cause, which needs that psychological insight from the Enneagram.
And then you need the mechanism to make the change permanent.
And that's the spiritual mechanism, which in this system is forgiveness. Zen Nation just provides the technology to measure and accelerate that whole process.
So it's a fantasy realm for sure, but it's one built on these very real, very concrete spiritual laws of cause and effect.
Precisely.
Okay, let's unpack this monumental vision. I think we have to start with the physical place itself.
The architecture.
The architecture. Let's start there.
So Zen Nation is described as this tranquil state, and its physical hub is the Heavenly Dream Resort.
And this is not some, rustic mountain lodge or little retreat in the woods. This is structured consciousness.
It is. The architecture itself is therapeutic. The main resort is this beautiful, modern, circular structure.
Circular. That feels intentional.
Oh, completely. It immediately implies flow, infinity, balance. It's
Yeah.
a stark contrast to the sharp corners and the linear stress of the outside world.
And it's a 7-story dormitory resort.
7 stories. And each of the 7 floors is constructed and designed to resonate with one of the major chakras.
So it spirals upward energetically.
It spirals up from the ground, from the root to the crown.
Okay, let's walk through this energetic roadmap, because the way they use physical space to reinforce these spiritual concepts is just fascinating.
We begin naturally on the first floor. This area is saturated with the color red.
For the root chakra.
For the root chakra, Muladhara. This is where guests focus on security, foundational stability, grounding.
All those core survival feelings.
Exactly. And the materials reflect that. They're heavy, solid, comforting. Think natural stone, deep earth tones, anything that reinforces that feeling of belonging and safety.
Okay, so you get your foundation, then you move up to the second floor, and you're shifting from survival to sensation.
You are. The second floor radiates orange. This is for the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana.
Creativity, emotions.
All of it. This floor is designed for movement, for creativity, for emotional fluidity. It has art studios, water features, spaces where emotions can be safely explored and expressed.
So you're encouraged to move beyond that blockage of guilt, which we'll get into later.
That's the goal. Then the third floor is yellow, the center of personal power.
The solar plexus, Manipura.
Yep. This floor is all about action, self-esteem, confidence. It's brightly lit. It houses simulation rooms for, say, leadership training, areas focused on self-discipline.
The intention is to activate that inner fire.
And overcome that psychological shadow of shame.
Then we hit the central axis. This feels like the core of the resort's purpose. The fourth floor, glowing green.
The heart chakra, Anahata. This is the critical juncture.
The bridge.
It's the bridge between the lower, more personal chakras and the higher, more spiritual one.
And the feel of it.
Profoundly soothing. It's filled with living plants, spaces that are optimized for one-on-one forgiveness work. It's all dedicated to love, compassion, and releasing that heavy burden of unforgiveness.
So as we keep ascending, we enter the realm of expression on the 5th floor. Blue.
For the throat chakra of the Shuddha, the space here is designed for clarity of communication.
So what's in there?
It features sound chambers, environments that facilitate speaking one's truth without fear of judgment. The color blue itself is used to promote calm and open that pathway of self-expression.
Directly confronting the shadow of deception.
Specifically self-deception. Above that, you get to intuition and insight. The 6th floor, indigo.
Third eye, Ajna.
This floor encourages introspection. It has meditation pods, holographic projection rooms where you can visualize future potential, spaces dedicated to dream interpretation.
All to help guests pierce through the illusion that blocks true insight.
Exactly. And then you reach the summit, the 7th floor, which is violet. The crown chakra, Sahasrara.
Divine connection.
The highest point. Dedicated to that divine connection, to unity consciousness. This area is expansive, maybe even open to the sky. It's all about fostering a sense of boundless awareness and letting go of all material attachment.
But the architecture, it goes one step further. There's an 8th floor,
Yes.
which, instead of a single color, embodies the combined energy of all 7 chakras.
This is the symbolic goal of the whole journey. Total integration. It's the floor where guests who have successfully completed that initial phase of their journey go to synthesize their learning.
So they practice flowing through all those energetic states at the same time.
They do. It represents achieved balance, sustained harmony. It's the structural representation of that miracle state we talked about.
So the physical structure houses the high-tech healing, but the whole landscape outside is also designed as this living energetic support system.
Absolutely.
Let's shift our focus outside the resort walls to the Serenity Chakra Gardens and the Whispering Grove.
The healing landscape is just as crucial. Surrounding the resort are 8 Serenity Chakra Gardens.
8.
4 position north, 4 south, with the 8th garden being that integrative center again. And each garden is specifically cultivated with mystical herbs, fruits, and vegetables that are associated with that chakra's energy.
So this isn't just gardening. This is like pharmacological energy therapy.
That's a great way to put it.
So for the root chakra garden, you might find dense root vegetables like beets or certain calming herbs known for their grounding properties.
Precisely. The environment isn't passive at all. It's actively nourishing the guest's energetic field. But the real active therapy, that happens in the Whispering Grove forest.
The enchanted sanctuary.
This forest is described as being sentient. It's designed to facilitate emotional release and psychological integration.
The sources mention talking trees, glowing flowers, mystical waterfalls, and enchanted fireflies. I mean, this sounds like something out of a fairy tale. How do these mystical elements actually translate into a therapeutic function, especially for the different Enneagram types?
Okay, let's break that down, because this is where we get the juice details. The talking trees, they don't just share, generic wisdom.
Right, not just fortune cookie sayings.
No, they possess the collective memory of the land. They share stories of past transformations, reflections that mirror the listener's specific internal conflict.
Can you give an example?
Sure. For a Type 6 loyalist who's struggling with indecision and anxiety, the tree might speak of times of great uncertainty in the forest's history that ultimately led to stronger roots, to more self-trust.
So it's basically a non-judgmental oracle service tailored to your current energy.
Exactly. It reframes the therapy as narrative healing, driven by nature itself.
Okay, what about the glowing flowers? They're said to soothe physical and emotional wounds.
So this is interpreted as bioluminescent flora. They release specific vibrational frequencies or maybe even subtle chemical compounds that interact with the guest's bioharmonic wristband.
To calm stressed areas of the body.
Yes. So if a Type 8 challenger is holding a lot of anger in their gut, in their solar plexus, the flower's frequency might counteract the density of that emotional blockage, helping to soothe it.
And the mystical waterfalls, I'm guessing they aren't just for taking a swim.
No, they're powerful cleansers. The water is believed to be infused with high vibrational energy, capable of flushing out stagnant emotional energy.
So a Type 4, the individualist who's maybe caught in a state of melancholy.
Right. They might bathe in the waterfall to symbolically and energetically wash away that heavy feeling of being fundamentally flawed, rejuvenating their entire energy field.
I love that even the forest floor is interactive, with the enchanted fireflies leading guests to hidden treasures.
And the treasures are usually not what you'd expect. It's not physical gold.
Right.
It's personalized insights or necessary tools. It might be a specific crystal that they need for their chakra scanlet, or a hidden path that leads to a secluded meditation spot that's perfectly aligned with their current healing stage. They guide you on your personal journey.
This all sounds like this beautiful living ecosystem. But the creatures are maybe the most fascinating part. They're said to guide and protect the Enneagram types from themselves.
Yes.
How does a verdant guardian, for example, protect a Type 3 achiever from their own vanity?
That's the crucial question. The verdant guardians, these enormous emerald-eyed tree spirits, they embody grounding and stability. They awaken when a type is engaging in their most destructive shadow behavior.
So they're like energetic speed bumps.
Exactly. If a Type 3 achiever, driven by that need for external validation, is tempted to lie or exaggerate their success, the guardian might subtly block their path, forcing them to pause and reflect on the integrity of their actions.
And the moon hares, the nocturnal, silver-furred messengers of dreams.
They work on a different plane entirely, the subconscious. They carry wisdom from the collective consciousness and reflect truths back to you in your dreams.
So how would that work?
For instance, a Type 6 loyalist who's paralyzed by fear of the unknown might dream of the moon hares leading them fearlessly through a dark forest. It installs a sense of subconscious self-trust before the conscious mind even wakes up to worry about it.
So the Enneagram animals are really personalized psychological guides. You've got the elephant for the Type 9 teaching inner strength against passivity.
Right, associated with the root chakra.
The fox for the Type 4, encouraging them to explore those deep, sometimes uncomfortable emotions.
Connected to the sacral.
The owl for the Type 5 investigator, helping them find personal power outside of just collecting more knowledge. And the swan, also for the Type 4, imparting the grace needed for self-compassion.
It's personalized environmental therapy. Every single interaction in Zen Nation is designed to mirror the guest's internal state back to them, and it demands self-awareness.
Okay, now let's pivot hard into the futuristic technology that makes this whole system work. The tech that provides the actual data for transformation. The city's nervous system is called the Zenith Net.
The Zenith Net is probably the most critical piece of infrastructure. It's described as the city's collective consciousness.
A collective consciousness.
It's a highly sophisticated network, and it's constantly transmitting positive frequencies, peace, clarity, unconditional love, and it's all powered by quantum entanglement.
Okay, let's pause on the jargon there because our listeners want to understand the mechanism. What does quantum entanglement actually mean in the context of emotional data?
Well, in physics, entanglement suggests that two particles remain interconnected no matter the distance. If you measure the state of one, you instantaneously know the state of the other. Zen Nation applies this concept to consciousness. The Zenith Net suggests that every single individual shift in perception toward love or peace, achieved by a guest or a resident, instantaneously reinforces the energetic field of the entire network.
So if I say a Type 7, have a breakthrough, and I finally embrace some emotional depth I've been avoiding, that positive frequency is instantly and non-locally transmitted to every other person linked to the Zenith Net.
Yes. Illustrating what the sources call interconnected wisdom. It's a massive energetic feedback loop.
And it shows you the results.
It does. The network displays indices like a unity index or a holistic balance index, showing the collective surge of peace. It's designed to be motivating, to show guests that their personal healing contributed directly to the collective good.
Reinforcing that ACM principle of shared purpose.
Exact.
And the individual application of this network, that relies on the chakra scanlets or bioharmonic wristbands.
These are your essential diagnostic tools. They provide real-time visualization and data of a person's energetic state.
Like a compassionate mirror for your energy centers.
Perfect way to put it. If a Type 2 helper is serving others out of obligation and ignoring their own fatigue, the scanlet might show their root and sacral chakras flickering or dimming due to energetic depletion.
So it provides immediate, undeniable feedback. You can't hide your emotional state from the device, which means you can't hide it from yourself.
And this immediate data is critical for the next step, the personalized treatment. The information from the scanlet directs the operation of the chakra repatterning chambers.
These sound revolutionary. What are they actually doing?
They are revolutionary because they integrate that ancient vibrational healing with cutting-edge technology. They use quantum light algorithms, specific sound frequencies, and customized vibrations.
All tailored by the scanlet data.
All tailored by the scanlet data to gently recalibrate and strengthen the 7 major centers.
Okay, so let's get specific. If the scanlet identifies, say, a Type 5 investigator who's emotionally detached, and it's showing a stagnant heart chakra, how does the chamber repattern that specific energy center?
The quantum light algorithms would generate precise light patterns and sound waves that correspond to the frequency of unconditional love. The chambers literally bathe the guest in the frequency needed to dissolve the blockage caused by that emotional avoidance, initiating a kind of cellular-level integration. It's customized energy healing on a profoundly sophisticated level.
This complex technology, though, is useless without a deep understanding of the human subtle anatomy.
That's right.
This brings us squarely into the energetic framework, the chakras, and their existential challenges. Before we dive into the personality types, we need to understand what Zen Nation believes is fundamentally blocking our energy flow in the first place.
The premise here is that the chakras are the 7 major transformers of universal energy. They influence our physical, mental, and spiritual existence. When they're flowing, we experience wholeness.
And when they're blocked,
We experience specific existential challenges that manifest emotionally and then eventually physically.
okay, let's slow down and go through these specific blockages, because they define the entire therapeutic approach of Zen Nation. Starting with the first chakra, Muladhara.
The root chakra. This is our foundational security. It's blocked by fear.
And we're not just talking about common anxiety here.
No, this is existential fear. The terror that you are unsafe, that you don't belong, or that your physical needs won't be met. When Muladhara is blocked by fear, the energy for survival and grounding is just cut off.
And that shows up as chronic insecurity, difficulty finding stability in the world.
Exactly. Moving up, you have the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana,
The center for our emotional life, creativity, sexuality.
and it is blocked by guilt. Guilt acts like a dam. It prevents the natural flowing energy of creativity and pleasure from expressing itself. If you feel guilty about your desires, your passions, or even your self-care, Svadhisthana becomes stagnant.
Leading to emotional rigidity or a creative block.
Yes. Then the power center, the solar plexus, Manipura, is blocked by shame.
Shame is devastating. It's the feeling of, I am fundamentally bad or unworthy.
It is, and this blockage directly attacks your self-esteem, your confidence. If Manipura is clogged with shame, your personal power becomes weak, or, conversely, you overcompensate with external control or dominance. It inhibits your ability to take effective action.
Then we hit the heart, Anahata. This is blocked by sadness and, critically, unforgiveness.
Unforgiveness is arguably the most potent emotional poison in the Zen Nation model. It's a chronic state of emotional contraction.
Because you're holding on to it.
You're holding on to resentment, a past hurt. You are perpetually closing your heart center, preventing the flow of love and compassion, both for yourself and for others. This creates a severe energetic discord that just radiates through the entire system.
Okay, up to the throat chakra, Avisha.
Vishuddha is the seat of truth and expression. It's blocked by deception.
Polly.
More specifically, the lack of self-truth. This means not speaking authentically or living a life that's misaligned with your inner identity. Every time you hold back a necessary truth or tell a lie, even a small one, you constrict your throat chakra.
And that can lead to physical tightness or even vocal issues.
Absolutely. Then you have the intuitive center, the third eye, Ajna.
Blocked by illusion.
The inability to see beyond physical reality, to believe that separation is real, or to be trapped by the ego's biases. When Ajna is blocked, our intuition is cloudy, and we're unable to access higher guidance or clear insight.
And finally, the highest center, the crown chakra, Sahasrara.
Sahasrara, our union with the divine, is blocked by attachment.
Attachment to what?
Anything really. Attachment to an outcome, to a material thing, to a specific identity, or even to a spiritual concept. This prevents the experience of transcendence and unity. It keeps the individual bound to a limited physical perspective.
The brilliance of Zen Nation is that they use this energetic map to explain the psychosomatic link.
Yes.
How the body is literally whispering the state of our subtle anatomy.
The mind-body connection is central to everything. We know that chronic emotional stress rooted in any of these blockages activates the sympathetic nervous system. It keeps the body perpetually in fight or flight mode.
Flooding the body with cortisol and adrenaline.
Constantly.
And that mechanism is designed to save us from, a tiger jumping out of the bushes. But when it's chronic, the physiological effects are profound. We're just not designed to live in a perpetual state of alarm.
Well, the source notes that this chronic alarm suppresses the immune system. It diverts all the energy needed for repair toward these perceived external threats. Furthermore, inflammation, which should be a short-term healing response, becomes systemic because the body is constantly ready for impact.
And where does this tend to show up most commonly in people?
The digestive tract is a major casualty. If the body is perpetually in fight mode, the digestive system cannot efficiently process food and assimilate nutrients.
Right, because it needs to be in rest and digest mode for that.
Exactly. So this leads to chronic issues like IBS, acid reflux, or ulcers.
And we also physically hold emotional tension in our muscles.
We do. Unresolved emotional conflict, like the shame in the solar plexus or the fear in the root, is stored as physical tension. This manifests as chronic headaches, perpetual back pain, shoulder tightness, deep jaw clenching.
So these aren't just isolated physical ailments.
Not at all. They are the body's persistent, urgent whispers communicating an emotional imbalance. And Zen Nation aims to dissolve that imbalance at its root cause.
The sources gave some specific examples I thought were really intuitive. Unexpressed resentment manifests as tightness in the shoulders.
It makes sense, right? You are literally carrying the heavy burden of the past on your shoulders.
And undigested fear shows up as a persistent knot in the stomach. The anxiety related to security and survival is literally felt as a constriction around your power center and your gut.
So Zen Nation's core therapeutic goal is to address the emotional cause, the guilt, the shame, the fear using the Enneagram, which thereby clears the chakra blockage, and that, in turn, resolves the physical effect.
Which brings us to the Enneagram. To make this healing system truly individualized, Zen Nation uses the Enneagram, the 9-type system, as its primary diagnostic tool. It provides a personalized map of your core motivations and your shadow traits, allowing for this surgical precision in the healing process.
And this is so crucial because while anyone can experience fear or shame, the Enneagram tells Zen Nation why a specific person resorts to that emotion, and therefore how to best intervene.
And it also fosters unity among the guests.
It does, by shifting their reactions from judgment of each other to compassion.
Okay, let's get into the deeper architecture of these types and their shadow traits. Let's understand the internal conflict that needs to be resolved before the chakras can fully open up.
Let's start with type 1, the reformer or idealist, like the character Mira. Their core need is to be right and good. They're driven by this tireless pursuit of perfection.
But their shadow is, well, it's crippling.
It is. It's impatience, profound self-judgment, and a criticism that they project outward onto the world. They're always trying to fix a broken world, but they're most critical of themselves.
And this leads to what, physically?
Often a rigid, over-controlled root and solar plexus. This can lead to tension headaches and a lot of frustration. Their growth comes from embracing imperfection and radical self-compassion.
Okay, then we have type 2, the helper or giver, like Evelyn and Mirabelle in the source material. They are generous, highly attuned to others' needs, very relational.
Their shadow is their need for validation. This can manifest as neediness, possessiveness, guilt, and severe self-neglect. They seek their worth solely from being needed by others.
Which is a totally external measure of self-worth.
And it causes a massive drain on their root and sacral chakras. Their growth requires learning real self-care and setting genuine, healthy boundaries.
Next up, type 3, the achiever or performer, like Leo and Leela. Ambitious, goal-oriented, often very charismatic.
Their entire identity is built on success. So their shadow is vanity, deceit, a deep fear of failure, and relentless workaholism.
All fueled by seeking external validation. Being seen as successful is being worthy for them.
And this directly blocks the authentic expression of their solar plexus in their throat. They have to find fulfillment beyond success and embrace radical authenticity, recognizing that their being is valuable, not just their doing.
Then there's the intensely sensitive type 4, the individualist or mystic, like Isolde and Serafina. They desire depth, beauty, and authenticity.
Their shadow is defined by melancholy, profound envy, and this deep-seated sense of longing, of feeling fundamentally flawed and separate from others. They're convinced something essential is missing from them.
And that blocks
the heart, through unforgiveness of the self, and the third eye by seeing separation everywhere. They require radical self-acceptance and need to recognize their inherent wholeness. They have to realize they are an integral part of the collective.
Okay, moving to the analytical mind. Type 5, the investigator or observer. Orion, Aetheron. They seek knowledge and independence.
Their shadow is isolation, emotional detachment, and a fear of being overwhelmed by the demands of the world or other people's emotions. They retreat into their mind.
Which leads to a stagnant heart and sometimes an overactive, ungrounded third eye.
Yes. They thrive by balancing their intellect with genuine connection and allowing themselves to feel deeply, moving from just observation to active participation.
Now for type 6, the loyalist or guardian, like Lyra and Ethan. Reliable, duty-bound, excellent at anticipating problems.
Their shadow is anxiety, suspicion, indecisiveness, and overcaution. It's all driven by a chronic fear of the unknown or threats to their security.
Which clogs up the root and solar plexus with perpetual tension.
It does. They must cultivate profound self-trust, realizing they have the internal resources to handle whatever comes their way and release that constant urge to control outcomes.
Type 7, the enthusiast or adventurer. Kai and Laura Zendiva for you herself. Optimistic, energetic, always seeking positive stimulation.
Their shadow is impulsiveness, superficiality, and a chronic avoidance of pain or discomfort. They use stimulation to escape deep, unresolved emotional issues.
And this often leads to a scattered sacral and an ungrounded root. Laura, the founder, had to overcome this very challenge.
She did. Her growth came from embracing mindfulness, setting clear intentions, and cultivating a depth of experience. Basically, facing the pain she was running from.
Then we have Type 8, the challenger or protector. Solon. Assertive, protective of justice, highly powerful.
Their shadow is anger, dominance, and a deep fear of vulnerability or being controlled. They build these hard defenses, which leads to profound tension in the root and solar plexus.
And the verdant guardians are particularly effective with them.
Yes, helping them soften their approach and anchor their power in internal peace, rather than external domination or aggression.
And finally, Type 9, the peacemaker or mediator. Amara, Serena. They seek internal and external harmony above all else.
Their shadow is passivity, complacency, and self-forgetting. They suppress their own needs and desires to avoid conflict or effort.
Which causes a stagnant sacral and a muted throat chakra.
Exactly. They have to learn self-assertion, realizing that their truth actually contributes to true harmony, not disruption, and they have to actively engage in life rather than just zoning out.
So this Enneagram app isn't just some fun personality quiz. It becomes the customized, complex diagnostic tool that dictates which floor they sleep on, which garden they visit, and which futuristic technology they use. It's the ultimate personalized blueprint.
And that personalized map informs the method of healing, and the method is rooted entirely in the teachings of A Course in Miracles. The entire energetic field of Zen Nation is structured around generating peace, joy, love, and forgiveness.
And if there's one central tenet, the absolute key to accessing all the other concepts, it is forgiveness.
Absolutely. The sources define forgiveness as the ultimate healer, the transformation of fear into golden love. It's the key to happiness, the doorway to awakening.
But we need to be clear. We have to distinguish between earthly forgiveness and the radical concept that ACM teaches, the one Zen Nation uses.
Yes. On Earth, we typically think of forgiveness as pardoning a wrongdoing, saying, I know you did this bad thing, but I'll let it go.
Isis Time flips that completely on its head.
It does. It teaches that forgiveness is not pardoning actions or condoning behavior, because at the level of spirit, there was no wrongdoing to pardon in the first place. Forgiveness is a profound shift in perception.
A shift away from what, specifically?
A shift away from the belief in sin, guilt, and separation, which are the root cause of every single chakra blockage we just discussed.
So you look past the illusion of the attack.
You do. Zen Nation teaches guests to look past the illusion, whether it was an attack from another person or the self-judgment of a Type 1. It's about recognizing that perceived wrongdoings are simply projections of our own fear and our own belief in separation.
So when I forgive someone, I'm not really doing it for them. I'm freeing myself from the emotional chains of the past, the burden of guilt. Is that right?
Precisely. You realize the heavy emotions you're holding, the resentment, the sadness, the anger, they're only weighing you down. By choosing to see past the illusion of separation and recognizing the universal innocence or the Christ self in the other person, you realize that your own is restored.
Which leads to radical inner peace.
That act of radical self-acceptance is called atonement in the AC model, the correction of the error of separation.
And this leads directly to the manifestation of miracles, which, again, are not supernatural acts like walking on water.
No. In Zen Nation, a miracle is defined as a shift in perception from fear to love. The system operates on a direct spiritual causality. The moment you consciously choose to apply true forgiveness, that perception of universal innocence, that is the cause.
And the effect is the automatic correction of all perceived problems in your body, mind, and spirit. It's a guaranteed outcome.
It is. The sources describe that the moment you choose to see with love, your chakras align instantaneously and just burst forth in vibrant glory. The energy that was blocked by fear or guilt or shame is suddenly released, manifesting peace, health, and wholeness. That's the miracle state.
And this choice to align with atonement, is the living energy that clears the chakras and invites miracles into every aspect of your existence.
Yes.
This shift in perception also dictates how guests interact with the collective consciousness through the Zenith net. And this brings in the concept of holy encounters.
A holy encounter is a profound interpersonal experience in Zen Nation. It occurs when two people momentarily lose sight of their separate interests.
Their separate egoic goals, their enneagram fears.
All of it. They recognize their shared divinity. They overlook all the physical or psychological differences that usually divide them.
It becomes an encounter of shared purpose.
Yes, the goal of the encounter is to remind everyone that they are altogether irreplaceable and equally loved in the mind of God, or the Zenith net in the technological sense.
And by granting this salvation or true perception to others, you simultaneously receive it yourself.
Reinforcing the interconnected wisdom of the entire system.
So if a Type 8 challenger and a Type 9 peacemaker, who would naturally repel each other because of conflict avoidance versus conflict initiation, if they have a holy encounter,
they momentarily see past their defense mechanisms and recognize their shared purpose of seeking inner peace.
and that shared moment of love and unity.
Sends a powerful frequency through the Zenith net, raising the collective unity index. The spiritual technology and the energetic anatomy are always working together.
Okay, this is the core of the experience. This is the most exciting part for our deep dive audience. We've established the map, the energy dynamics, the spiritual method. Now let's dig into the mechanical application.
The how.
The how. How does Zen Nation use technology to target specific Enneagram challenges, achieve that necessary perceptual shift, and balance the chakras? This is where we get the granular juice details of the transformation process.
And this section really demonstrates the exquisite level of personalization. This is not one-size-fits-all meditation. It's surgical, high-tech spirituality, targeting the precise emotional architecture of the individual.
Okay, let's start with the achiever, Type 3, Leo or Kalen. Their core drive is external validation, leading to that fear of failure and performance anxiety.
Right. So the cause is the external focus, which results in a blocked solar plexus from shame and an overactive throat chakra from deception or performance.
They're trying so hard to impress others that their own inner fire is actually unstable.
Exactly.
So how does Zen Nation transform this specific psychological struggle? How do they get Kalen to stop basing his worth on his latest achievement?
They target the subconscious belief that I am only worthy if I succeed. Kalen uses something called a self-worth calibrator, AI.
A self-worth calibrator.
It's an AI that operates in the background, analyzing his emotional responses. When Kalen receives high praise, the AI gently nudges his inner monologue toward acknowledging his internal qualities, his integrity, his effort, his kindness, rather than just the external result. It slowly overrides his habitual need for applause.
That's a powerful mental reframing tool.
Yeah.
And what about the throat chakra's tendency to perform?
For that, Leo uses mindful communication biofeedback. While he speaks, a projection of his energy signature appears. If he is speaking to impress, his energy might show erratic, scattered light around his throat chakra.
And if he's speaking from authenticity?
The light is clear and steady. This immediate biofeedback trains him, in real time, to differentiate between speaking for performance and speaking from inner truth.
Speaking to express, not to impress. I like that. So how is the solar plexus blockage of shame physically recalibrated?
For that, Leo moves into the chakra repatterning chambers for his solar plexus, Manipura. The chambers use these high-intensity yet gentle-focused crystalline resonance chambers.
To amplify his inherent strength.
His inherent unconditional strength. He enters a guided meditation called Inner Power Infusion Meditations, where the quantum light algorithms bathe his midsection in that yellow frequency, dissolving the shame held there and establishing self-acceptance, completely independent of his success metrics.
So the miracle for the achiever is the perception of his power coming from within, leading to this profound, unwavering sense of inner fulfillment.
The cause is his choice to stop performing and embrace his inherent worth. The effect is a perfectly stable, vibrant solar plexus.
Okay, next, let's analyze the individualist, Type 4, Isolde or Serafina. Their struggle is intense emotionality, self-focus, and that deep feeling of being fundamentally flawed or separate.
Right, which leads to intense longing and envy.
This inner conviction of being different or missing something, how does that translate to the chakras?
It translates to a blocked third eye because of the illusion of separation and a subtle crown disconnection. Their entire journey has to focus on dissolving the ego's illusion that they are separate from universal wholeness.
How does Zen Nation use technology to challenge that deep-seated belief that they're fundamentally flawed?
Isolde utilizes a wholeness affirmation matrix. This is a personalized neural feedback program integrated with the ZenithNet.
And what does it do?
It constantly feeds her brain subtle sensory input, visual, auditory, that reinforces the concept of her inherent completeness and divine connection. It effectively interrupts her melancholy feedback loop, and she pairs this with unified field VR experiences.
Tell us more about the VR experiences.
Well, in the VR environment, Isolde visually and emotionally experiences her consciousness expanding to encompass the environment. She sees herself as connected to the forest, the water, every other guest.
So it's designed to dismantle the intellectual belief in separation and replace it with a visceral, emotional experience of unity.
That's it. You're training the perception to see unity and separation.
And the specific chakra alignment process for the Type 4.
For the third eye, Ajna, she uses Clarity of Vision AR. This device overlays her physical environment with a filter of love and unity. When she sees another person, instead of instantly focusing on their demas or where she feels she lacks in comparison, the AR system highlights their shared divinity, training her sight to perceive universal innocence. And the miracle is seeing this innocence even in her own perceived flaws.
And to open the crown chakra, to address that feeling of being cut off.
She engages in cosmic unity biosynchronizations. In this, the repatterning chamber attunes her energetic field to the collective consciousness frequency of the ZenithNet. It uses advanced harmonic sound frequencies and light pulses to remove the attachment to her separate, isolated identity.
We mentioned body enhancement earlier for the Type 4.
Yes. Idly also experiences emotional release through vibrational therapy. This involves a specialized full-spectrum light and sound chamber.
And it's calibrated.
It's calibrated to gently resonate with the emotional density stored in her physical body. It helps to release the chronic tightness and emotional tension that Type 4s so often hold, fostering a sense of physical lightness and renewed vitality.
So it reframes her focus on uniqueness from a source of suffering to a beautiful, integral part of a greater whole.
That is the ultimate shift in perception.
Let's move to the Peacemaker, Tag 9. Serena, or Elandra. Their challenge is suppressing their needs and desires to maintain harmony, all rooted in a fear of conflict.
Which leads to passivity and self-forgetting.
And this results in two major blockages.
A stagnant sacral chakra because they can't honor their own desires, and a muted throat chakra because they can't voice their truth. They are literally muting their own life force to avoid potential discord.
The path to healing here requires assertion, which has to be terrifying for a Type 9. How does Zen Nation guide Serena through this process without triggering overwhelming conflict anxiety?
The process starts very gently. She uses a self-discovery AI journal. This AI prompts Serena daily, demanding she articulate her authentic needs, boundaries, and desires, things she usually suppresses before they even reach conscious thought. It subtly challenges her tendency to merge with others' needs.
And then they move into practice.
Crucially, she engages in boundary-setting VR scenarios. She practices asserting her needs in simulated interactions with highly realistic AI avatars.
So it's like exposure therapy.
It's exactly that. The scenarios start low stakes, like asserting a preference for dinner, and then they progress to high stakes, like articulating a major life boundary. She repeats the scenario until asserting her needs feels safe and automatic, dissolving that fear of conflict.
And how does this work on the chakras? How does it activate the sacral and throat?
For the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, she uses authentic expression biosculpting. This is a futuristic art form in the Zen Nation art studios. Her internal, unique, emotional, and creative impulses are instantly translated into evolving light sculptures and sounds.
So she sees her desires made real.
It helps her honor her own desires and creative flow, activating the sacral energy she usually keeps stagnant.
And the muted throat chakra.
It opens as she practices declaring affirmations rooted in A-sign principles within the repatterning chamber. Things like, my truth contributes to true harmony, and my needs are valid.
And the chamber tops.
The chamber uses specific sonic frequencies to gently stimulate the vocal cords and the energetic center, overcoming that block of deception, which for her is self-deception about her own needs.
The effect is a clear sense of self and increased confidence, achieved by perceiving her own desires as divinely inspired, not selfish.
The cause is the choice to engage in life and voice her truth. The effect is creative joy flowing through the sacral and clear, powerful communication from the throat.
Finally, let's look to helper, Type 2, like Maribel. Their core challenge is feeling valuable only when they're needed, which leads to emotional depletion and self-neglect.
This is fundamentally a grounding issue. By deriving their worth externally, they block the root chakra, which is security in self-worth, and they imbalance the sacral chakra, which is about honoring personal desires. They give until they are empty, and that often creates resentment.
How does Zen Nation rewire that deep-seated need to be needed?
Mirabelle wears the Perception Shift Navigator AI on her wristband. When it detects patterns of obligation, fatigue, or passive resentment in her internal monologue, which it senses via biofeedback,
Gives her a prompt.
it offers prompts like, is this giving from true abundance or perceived lack? And critically, can you see this person's perfect innocence and your own? It constantly challenges the ego's motive for giving.
This pushes that Asine principle of giving from a place of unconditional love without any expectation.
And she practices this in unconditional giving VR simulations. In the simulation, she practices giving generously and then observes the AI recipient not expressing gratitude or even forgetting the gift.
Wow, that's tough.
It's designed to dissolve the illusion of expectation, to show her that her joy comes from the act of love itself, not from the external result.
And the chakra alignment, grounding the root in self-worth.
The goal is to anchor the root chakra, Muladhara, in the absolute worthiness of her divine self, ensuring she serves without depletion. She uses energetic rejuvenation pods that use sonic vibrations and light therapy, specifically targeted at replenishing her internal energetic reserves.
So she can serve from an overflowing cup, not an empty one.
Exactly. And her sacral chakra balances as she practices honoring her own desires through creative expression in the sacral garden.
It's an incredible level of surgical spiritual intervention. Every personal fear is addressed through this combination of ancient wisdom, specific chakra work, and quantum technology, all leading back to that core principle.
The shift in perception from fear to love.
And that individual transformation then feeds the collective. The sources make it so clear that the collective rise in the miracle index, the measurable increase in high-frequency consciousness, proves that each personal decision to choose truth over illusion contributes to the awakening of all of Zen Nation via the Zenith Net.
That's the interconnected wisdom at play.
This deep dive into Zen Nation has been a journey through futuristic architecture, psychological mapping, energetic causality. It's been a lot.
It's a dense system.
It is. But the central integrated takeaway feels very clear. Healing is a simultaneous process. The Enneagram identifies the psychological cause, which is the shadow emotion.
The chakras diagnose the energetic effect, the blockage.
And the spiritual philosophy of ACIM provides the method, the forgiveness, or the shift in perception, which manifests the miracle.
And every step, every choice made by guests like Leo, Isolde, Serena, or Mirabelle impacts that collective consciousness. The focus is always on transcending the ego's limited dream and remembering the true nature of being.
Which is wholeness and absolute connection.
Yes.
What's important for you, our listener, to remember is that you don't need a 7-story dormitory or a bioharmonic wristband to start this process. The principles detailed in this source material are available right now.
That's right.
The chakra system offers a mirror.
What is your energy telling you today? If you feel tension in your gut, where might you be holding fear or shame? If your shoulders are tight, is it resentment? Remember, your choice is the cause, and the effect is the automatic correction of all perceived problems in your body, mind, and spirit.
You possess the tools for this transformation.
The moment you choose to see with love, that act of atonement, your own inner energy centers align and burst forth in vibrant glory.
So what deep-seated fear are you ready to release? What unconditional love are you ready to embrace within yourself? The choice, as always, is yours.
Thank you for joining us for this extensive deep dive into the blueprint of transformation. We hope this exploration has given you plenty to reflect upon in your own journey toward wholeness.
We'll talk to you next time.